Off of the legendary album 40 Ounce to Freedom, Sublime's Bad Fish on Rockin' a 5-3. It's AD, and in honor of the fact that it is the 25th anniversary of that incredible world-changing album by Sublime, there's going to be an anniversary party this coming Saturday at AleSmith Brewing Company from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, where you're going to get a chance to try the new Sublime Mexican Lager, and there will be a special toast to Brad Nowell of Sublime at 5, so make sure you get there on time. Here to discuss all of that is the woman who is married to Bradley Nowell of Sublime, a woman who's got that PMA all day. Troy Holmes, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Awesome.
I'm really, really honored to talk to you. Thank you so much, Troy, for taking the time out of your day to speak with us.
Absolutely. I'm a San Diego girl. Really cool. 105.3.
So it's unthinkable that it's been 25 years since 40 Ounce to Freedom came out. Do you remember what you were doing 25 years ago?
25 years ago, I had not heard it yet. I remember what I was doing. Mm-hmm. I was drinking beer. I was probably at a kegger with a red cup, walking down the boardwalk in Mission Beach, trying to find a kegger that would fill it up for me.
Right.
I've always loved beer. When I heard 40 Ounce to Freedom, the album for the first time was in Ocean Beach at a friend's house. And all of us were drinking beer, sitting around like usual, summertime. We're like, what is this? And our friend brought back a cassette from San Miguel when the boys would play on the beach. They would sell their cassettes, and 40 Ounce was a cassette, and it just came out, or they just, recorded it and had a bunch of cassettes, and they would sell them out of their trunk. And our friend Stevie brought one back, and we all recorded off that one tape. And so that summer, all you heard at every house party was 40 Ounce to Freedom, the album. And so that's how I got turned onto it, and especially that album, the songs in it, not just the song 40 Ounce to Freedom, but Bad Fish, everything. They all relate to just drinking and sitting around with your friends and having fun.
Right.
It was like the anthem, and it was the theme music for that whole summer.
That's awesome. So for those that don't know, how did you go from hearing 40 Ounce to Freedom, deciding that tape was going to be the soundtrack to your summertime in San Diego, to marrying the guy that made the music?
Oh, my Lord. Do you have hours? I don't know. Well, this is, I don't know if you remember Heavy Metal Bar on College.
Uh-huh.
Winters. It was back in 92, I think. About 92. No, I'm sorry, 93. But Winters was where all the really hardcore metal bands played. Mm-hmm. So after that summer, the San Diego Reader, every week, we would look on Thursday to see what shows were coming up, and we saw Sublime at Winters. And we're like, no way. Why are they playing there? It's a heavy metal bar. So we made a point we have to go. And so about 6 of us from the beach drove out to State College, got there, and maybe 10 other people. It was sad. We were so bummed, and we felt bad. Like, they're never going to want to come to San Diego again because nobody came to see them play. But they were relatively new to our underground music scene for us. And so we said, come back to OB with us, and let's have a bonfire, and you guys don't have to drive to Long Beach. We'll, find somewhere safe for your band equipment. And at the time, Kelly Vargas was drumming with them, and it was Eric and Lou Dog, just the 4 of them. And so it was really cool, and we sat on the beach, and we just sat by the bonfire, and they weren't rock stars yet. It's cool. And they never ever acted like rock stars, but it was just really easy to get them to come and hang out. After that, every time they play in town, I'd always go to the shows, and Brad would remember me. And we really didn't start seeing each other until maybe 94, the end of 94? No, 94. So we were friends for a long time. So it developed into a love. Then the night that I broke up with my boyfriend at the time, 2 years later, that night, I was like, I'm going out. And I went out with my friends. I hadn't gone out in a while. We went to Ole Madrid, of all places. And Ole Madrid would have live acts every once in a while, but mostly it was a dance club. And we were going to dance. And we're standing in line. I hear Sublime play, thinking, the DJ's spinning one of their songs. The very next song is Sublime. I was like, what? Is the band playing right now? I ran to the front of the line. And I went to the door guy and said, is there a band playing right now? He goes, yeah, some band. What are they called? And he goes, I think it's Sublime. I go, you have to let me in right now. And I don't remember if I gave him money or if I was, just nice enough or just like in a panic, but he let me through. I ran right up to the stage, and Brad stopped in the middle of his song, and he got down on his knees, and he gave me a hug. And he's like, you're here? And I'm like, you're here. So it's kind of like it was perfect timing, meant to be, and at a night when I was mad and angry, he just made me happy. So it was really cool. And then we're never apart again. So
that's amazing. That's an incredible story. Incredible story.
And all in San Diego. I love San Diego.
I can absolutely understand why. Talking about 40 Ounce of Freedom and the way it was made on borrowed studio time, borrowed being a generous term for they snuck into a Cal State recording studio after it was supposed to be closed and recorded their album in secret. And here it is, this thing that was made kind of by hook or by crook that still 25 years later means so much to so many people. And it's funny, talking to Bud about this, I was just like, did you have any idea or any thought or any conception that 25 years later you'd be having conversations like this one? And he was like, at the time, I believe we were the greatest band in the world, and the trick was getting people to know this. We were all in all the time. And I thought that was so cool because, look, try to say this delicately, but because of the tragic way Brad left, I feel like maybe we, the world, don't pay enough attention to how he lived and just the way 40 Ounce of Freedom was made. To me, these are the actions of a man who believed that anything is possible and went for it.
Yeah, that's a really beautiful way. I mean, all these years I was perfectly put because I don't think they made albums or music to get the success that they now have. They were pirates, punk rockers. That's the way they did it. But they knew they had something, and they didn't care if anyone liked it or not. So yeah, I agree. It's amazing how 40 Ounce of Freedom has become like kind of their cult classic album.
It's a record that was made by people who really believed anything was possible, didn't feel limitations, were out to build something, and they went and did it. And that's a tremendous lesson. Not only is the music that's something that stayed with us forever, not only is it an anthem for everybody's summertime every year as they're growing up, but it's also this affirmation of life. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you know what? From the outside looking in, I got to say, with your son, Jacob, and his band Law, I kind of feel like I'm picking up on the same thing. Not necessarily knowing exactly how this is going to go, but just going for it because of a belief in himself and a belief in the world.
I agree. Jake, I never put a guitar in his hands. And Jake, it happened organically. Jake was always into reading, he'd just eat up books, and to writing. He was a good story writer. So he had that in his genes for writing. He's a lot like Brad, and his voice undoubtedly sounds like his father's, but he's a lot like Brad in his demeanor and personality, where he's intense and thinks deep thoughts, and he can express them on writing. But he never had the knack for music, or at least I never, tried to see. I didn't want him to felt like he would, had to be like his dad. So I never pushed it on him. So that obviously is something he has to do. It's in him. That gene is strong.
So we're going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of 40 Ounce of Freedom this Saturday, AleSmith Brewing Company, from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And right at the beginning, right at 5, there's going to be a special toast to Bradley Nowell.
Correct, right at 5 o'clock. It's a really cool idea. We picked different bars that we really wanted to have a keg that day and a tap and the handle with the sun on it. And so everybody, Bud, Eric, me, Opie, everybody, we picked bars, and they've already got their taps. I think in San Diego, I know for sure Winston's, Tony's, Hodad's, both downtown and in Ocean Beach.
Nice.
And then up here in Long Beach, they got all their bars. And at 5, the bartenders are going to give everyone who's at the bars a pint, along with us at AleSmith, and we're all going to taste it together, toast and taste it together at 5 o'clock. I just found that out, and I was going to cry. Like, what a great idea.
Yeah.
Knowing that everyone at all of Brad's favorite spots are all going to taste the beer with us at the same time.
It's a beautiful thing, that it managed to come together for the 25th anniversary of 40 Ounce of Freedom. It couldn't be more perfect.
I couldn't be more perfect, and I can't wait to see everybody. And I think my favorite part will be at 5 o'clock to taste the beer all together collectively, in a sense, with everyone. and pour some out for Brad first.
Yeah. Troy Holmes, we cannot thank you enough for joining us today on this show, and we will see you on Saturday to celebrate the 25th anniversary of 40 Ounce to Freedom and the launch of Sublime Mexican Lager at AleSmith Brewing Company from 5 to 8. And if you're going, please get there on time for a 5 o'clock special toast to Bradley Nowell of Sublime.
And I love San Diego, and thank you so much.
Troy, you are the best, and we appreciate you sharing your stories as well. They mean so much to so many people.
Thank you. Thank you. See you soon.
Rock 105.3, San Diego's rock station.